This here is a pretty unique PC case from Thermaltake called the Tower 300, and you've probably noticed that it is green, not black or white conventional colors like you find in most PC cases, and we've chosen green for a very special reason. As many of you probably know by now, we have a car channel called Salazar's Cars, and in it, one of the episodes, we visited Jack Builds Its shop. Now, Jack actually is just down the road from us. It wasn't a far trip at all, and he was showing us his recent Mark IV Supra rebuild. That car was recently painted a beautiful dark green. And what he says here is why this entire build exists.
It is Porsche Jet Green Metallic, and I love that color. Like, I fell in love with that color because of the shape of the 911. Yeah. And I looked at the shape of the 911 and I thought to myself, like, is this color gonna look good on the Supra? And then I looked at the shape of the Supra and I was like, man, it's real similar lines.
So yeah, once Tommy and I heard that, we knew we had to do something. Jack has been asking us for a PC build kind of behind the scenes. He's been looking for a custom one to edit his videos. So we saw this as the perfect opportunity to combine the theming of a build on his car channel and what we do every day, which is build PCs. This one's gonna be a fun one. Now, my 3D printing skills aren't great, but you can see where this is going. We decided to print a Supra logo, which I think is gonna look super cool. We have a special place in this chassis for it. We might throw a few other things in, we just don't wanna overdo it. I think the color scheme and this logo alone are gonna go a long way toward wrapping this around that Supra that he's rebuilding, which I'm super excited about, by the way. Did you hear it's going to have 1,000 horsepower? So this here is sort of the plan. I think we're gonna end up spray painting over this Thermaltake logo. Sorry, Thermaltake. It is what it is. We're still going to, you know, get to show off other aspects of this very unique chassis, but I think that is going to look so cool with the contrasting black and white and the color. Again, I'm super excited to see this thing next to the Mark IV. And we have tons of room in here for other activities, support for up to an MATX motherboard and oversized graphics cards. You can see under this panel, we have two 140mm fans that are set to exhaust, so a lot of fresh air is gonna be coming in from the sides of the chassis and moving out through the top.
You have a lot of fans.
I have two fans. It's good enough. And you can see almost every panel here is modular. These tempered glass of like 45-degree panels pop off easily. I think these side panels are magnetic, which is super cool. So we're gonna have tons of room inside for activities. I think we're gonna use an ITX motherboard, we'll show you that in a second, but a very oversized graphics card and a 360mm AIO off to the right. This should be a super fun one, and it should have a fairly interesting ending as well, since we plan to deliver this to Jack. Totally surprising. We haven't said we're building this PC or anything, so I think it's gonna catch him off guard and yeah, kind of put him on the spot, which is great. Jack can handle it. I hope you will stay with me. Taking this time to announce the giveaway winner for a subscriber on the car channel. So we said that if you subscribed in the last 3 to 4 weeks, you'd have a chance to win this RTX 3060, and that winner has been randomly chosen. It is, for some reason, another Chevy guy, it looks like, ZL1, I'm looking at it from across the room, ZL1 Power 69. So congrats, my guy or gal. We're gonna reach out to you and send you this RTX 3060. Now, we're not done yet. We're actually running 2 more giveaways for 2 more graphics cards that just kind of collect dust in the closet. I'd much rather give these away, and it's a good chance for us to, again, promote the car channel. So we have a 5600 XT Radeon RX Strix model from ASUS. Pretty sweet looking. It's probably one of the best 5600 XTs they ever made. I know it's an older card, but it will, I'm sure, be of good use to somebody. And then another RTX 3060, this one from Gigabyte Aorus this time. So yeah, 2 chances to win. Now all you have to be is subscribed to the car channel. That's it. If you're already subscribed, maybe stay subscribed and you'll still have a chance to win. Make sure you set your subscriptions to public so that we can see that you're subscribed, and we'll be sure to reach out to another winner in the next few weeks. I think 3 to 4 weeks like we did last time. We are actually rebuilding a crash damaged R35 Nissan GTR now, and we're in way over our heads. So if you want to see a little bit of that, it's like fix or flop on steroids. Hop on over to Salazar's Cars. So to get started, I'm going to remove the second half of this cage here, and the power supply goes below this, but I want as much removed from the chassis as possible in order to paint this piece here. You might be thinking, Greg, why not just remove this piece? Well, it is riveted. Thank you, Thermaltake. Again, Mike's gonna be like, you got me, Thermal Mike. I know you're watching, Thermal Mike. I know you're a car guy. I hope you like what we end up coming up with for this build. I think it will look very cool. How the heck do I get the second half of this out? there's like screws back here. We're about to find out. Ah. Thank you, thermal take. I'm just gonna keep removing stuff until this cage comes out. I have no idea how to do it. I could read a manual, but manuals are for chumps. Oh, did you get that, Tommy? Sorry, that was a little crazy. So if we just mask everything around this, we'll make sure that we don't overspray onto this beautiful green. Then just a couple quick coats of black. We're just trying to cover the logo up to make way for the Supra one. We should be in good shape. So we're gonna take this entire thing outside because spray painting inside would be a pretty bad choice. We're gonna go all the way up. You think Jack's gonna approve of this paint job, Tommy? He's gonna watch this video and be like, oh my God. Hey, it's the end result that matters here, okay? I think we can pull it off. The OGs back in the day will remember we used to paint PC parts galore, and I have taken it upon myself to go back and watch some of those recently and try to redeem ourselves. And would you look at there? Not a bit of green in sight, mostly. And as long as we aim in this general direction, we'll only end up spraying this portion of the case. Flame-proof primer, 1300 to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. We're doing this right, gonna start off with a light coat of primer. I hope I don't screw this up. This plastic is like sticking.
A few moments later.
How's it coming?
It's pretty bad. Yeah, maybe I'll do one more coat of that. And then we'll hit it with the black. And the goal is to get this like as close to, you know, black finish on the chassis as possible. We don't want it to look painted. The problem is the only black I have on hand is gloss black. And the chassis really isn't glossy, so we'll use this sparingly. We'll shift our attention to the platform while that paint is drying. So this is a Z690i from Gigabyte. It uses DDR4, which makes things a little more accessible, and we're gonna pair this with a Core i7 12700K. I like 12th gen, it didn't have voltage issues or anything like that. I know 13th and 14th have kind of worked out the kinks since. And for video editing, I do highly recommend Intel for their IGPs. It helps with quick sync and just overall timeline scrubbing, smoothing, and exporting. Jack, if you're watching, this does come with the Salazar Trust Me warranty. I can't say trust me, bro. That one's owned by Linus, but if you do have any problems, you know where to find me. Not too far away. We're gonna set this chip in, lower the retention arm. There we go. Pretty sweet kit of DDR4 32 gigs, which is solid for video editing and gaming nowadays. We're gonna pop back the levers on both of these slots and get them installed. I chose white for these because the Supra logo that we 3D printed is also white. So I'd like to add a little bit here and there to offset it. And for storage, we are opting for a 1 terabyte SN770 super fast NVMe. Super large heatsink on top of this bad boy, and then we can move back to the case. Sorry, Jack, these aren't zinc plated. And I think just one more coat here will do the trick. I'm pretty impressed it's turned out as well as it has. It's not perfect, but I think Jack will be happy with it. So we'll let that dry, hit it one more time, and we'll call it a day. So we'll be using an Arctic Liquid Freezer 360 for this build. Again, like I mentioned, it's a very large cooler for this chassis, but what I didn't realize is that you can actually direct mount the cooler to the chip. And so we need to remove this retention mechanism in order for this to be a flush fit. It's actually better for thermals in the long run. It's just a few Torx screws, it looks like, and thankfully Arctic included a tool in the box to get these out. I will say, it always looks interesting when these are removed from Intel boards. They almost look a bit naked. Just gently set over top, and you can see it wraps around the IHS, and I had to hold this little bracket underneath the board up because without these screws in here, this kind of just falls to the table. So you'll want to hold that up with your hand or something else, and then you can torque down this little mount with Phillips screws. Alrighty, Tommy, here it is. We're gonna pull the tape off carefully. I don't think it's fully dry yet, but the longer we wait, the longer it takes us to build this. A lot to remove here. We were overly cautious just to be on the safe side. Oh yeah. super, super happy with that. Massive radiator. Probably a bit overkill for a 12700K. Well, maybe not, because you can overclock. He'll have that option if he wants. That's gonna sit right there and exhaust hot air out of the case. And then we'll have the pump and the block sort of sit like that. Right there for a 120. Looking pretty good so far. Last one, that's 12 in total. And Tom, if you wanna show them just like fully from the side here, this radiator is massive. It's also thicker than the typical radiator is like 20 or 25 mil. This is, I think, a 30 mil thick rad. And with 3 120s up front, I mean, this is gonna be plenty of cooling capacity for that i7. Up next is the motherboard. Now, since the graphics card slots directly into it, we'll have to turn this upright such that rear I/O is facing upward. Of course, Thermaltake gives us cutouts for those cables, so that's not a huge deal, but you'll notice that it is turned 90 degrees clockwise. Got a few 632s to take care of. One way in the back here. One by our 24 pin and one by our PCIe slot. Slapping on some thermal grizzly cryonaut. This might be a bit much. We can always pull back after the fact, but I'm gonna try to spread this evenly over the IHS. The block is gonna have to twist around. We can only mount it this way or 180 degrees the other way, and we actually can't do that because this heatsink is so large, and that's the side that the tubing would be on. So it has to go this way, which is fine. The tubes are gonna sort of wrap around here as a result. So we'll get the screws started. Looking pretty good so far. Disappointed we can't rotate the cover of this block so the logo is sideways. We might be able to 3D print something to go on top of that. Although my 3D printer is clogged right now, so that's gonna be fun to take apart. Never done that before. The next thing to do is wire up all of our small wiring here. Tom, you can show them on the side. We've got a bunch of rear I/O stuff. We'll get these connected and then we'll move on to the power supply. Front panel here is down near the bottom right side of the board. Bottom left from this orientation, of course. Type C going in right next to it. Let's see if I got the keying right. Nope, I do not have the keying right. Let's flip this back around. I know my hand's covering the shot. There we go. Much better. Oh wow, look at that. USB 3.2 right beside that one. So all three of these cables are all in the vicinity of each other. Flip this around and pop it in. It's a pretty clean look so far. I'm gonna slide in this C1200 power supply, plenty of wattage for Jack's needs and then some. He could honestly just migrate this to his next rig in the future if he wanted. And Thermaltake will have us seat it like it's hitting something. Ah, I just needed to complain on camera. Oh, I'll remember that for later, all right. And then 4 more screws to tighten it all down. This little cage cover goes atop the power supply, kind of keeps things cleaner. You can see 2 little cable cutouts for routing. We have to set this gently on top of the shroud we just painted. So nice and easy. That was kind of cringy. That right there. Yep, this looks right. First screw will go in. We are. And the second. We managed to pull it off. I really want to apply that Supra logo like right now. I'm really looking forward to seeing that in this case, but we'll still let it dry a little bit more. We'll take care of the larger wiring from the power supply and then also some cable extensions that I think will tie in the black, white, and green. Super pumped about these, and they didn't cost a lot of money, about 30 bucks or so for some white cable extensions. You guys know I'm a sucker for white components. Now, I normally wouldn't go for this in a green and black color scheme, but since we have the white Supra logo as well as the white in the DDR4, which is also intentional, I think there'll be just enough white in this rig to set off the other components. Carefully thread these combs in before we install the cables. It's much harder to get these going once the cables are, under tension and being bent left and right, forward and back. Just go ahead and pop these in ahead of time. Just make sure your orientation is right as well. Then for a bit of demonstration, we'll have the 24 pin poke through the rubber grommet and pull a 180 straight into the board. And then you can see we can straighten that up on this end. I think that looks pretty good. Next up is the 8-pin EPS, and this one's a little tricky. Since we have the AIO in here, we're gonna have to kind of thread this carefully from the front. Make sure that that's fully seated. It's easier said than done. Oh, okay, I think that's about it. Oh, yeah, there's like no clearance back here. But with that all the way in, then we can wrap her around. Thermaltake gave us a cutout way up top here. I think that is the path we are choosing. I guess the equivalent for this on the car side would be like a custom wiring harness. Could you imagine custom sleeved wiring harnesses in cars? It would be a very crazy attention to detail. I'm trying to keep this area free and clear because you can see straight through this from the front glass panel. So we're gonna carefully wire things just below it and around it. And then just tie up a few loose ends with some of these smaller cables. We should be good to go, apart from the graphics card. Don't worry, I didn't forget about the card. Looking pretty good so far. The graphics card. This is the final piece of the puzzle before we finish up the wiring. This is a triple fan card. I know it's just a 3080. I hate saying just because this card is still extremely powerful in 2025. If you can find one used for somewhere between, I would say $300 and $500. I'm not sure. I have to go back and check what the current pricing is. Probably somewhere around 300 bucks. I think it's a killer card for the money. And we just need 2 8-pin supplemental PCIe connectors, which is great because I hate 12-volt high power connectors. It's so nice that we that we have regular. I never thought I would say that, but this is just super convenient. Makes for easy wiring and peace of mind. Yeah, this thing is going to run all the way down the side of this case. Just got to remove these 2 PCIe slot covers, and yes, it is strange that they are facing upward in this chassis. Nice and easy. And it's actually really nice that we don't have to use a riser cable. Card just slots straight into the board and will hang like so. Gonna tighten it down. Don't want this falling. So you get a nice shot of white here, and this will be just above our white Supra logo. And can carefully bend them in. That should just about do it. And here we go. This is the final touch before we throw the rest of the panels on. I've got some tape just to kind of mask off like the edges of where I want this to be. So I want to center it on the first try. Got some sticky tape, and I think that right there. All right, here we go. Press it on there. Okay. Pull back on the tape. Man, I'm so happy with that. That looks dope. So cool. You know, Tommy, there's honestly a lot of extra space here. I just got this idea because it's green. We're not gonna roll with this for real, but Jack has some extra space to play with. So if he wants to put a fake plant in there, there's room for a fake plant. Get the top panel situated. 1, 2. This here is our cable management. It does look a bit unorthodox, but again, it was because I was trying my best to keep these cables out of the way of cutouts back here for the visual effect. This rear panel slides on, and I think it's, oh, it clips in, okay. And then we have our cutout down below for power supply access. Second side panel, this one over the AIO, and this one is magnetic. And you know what, while we're at it, I've got this shorter LED strip, so I'm gonna hang this up top so that it's pointing straight down, and that should help illuminate everything in here. There isn't much RGB in any of these components. The fans aren't RGB or anything, so just a way for us to illuminate the insides so that, you know, Jack can show it off to his friends. After confirming the rig powered on without issue and that all the LEDs were illuminated and synced, I immediately got to work on the finer details. This is Jack Builds It we're talking about. I wanted this to be as turnkey for him as possible, but I'm hoping this PC will simplify his workflow and make editing significantly more efficient. Just a few finishing touches, including a fresh Windows install and drivers, and we can prep for the surprise over at his new shop.
Ta-da!
What?
Dude, are you serious?
We heard you.
I'm like, I see your family here, and I was like,
Yeah, sorry,
here's everybody. I was like, this is. Dude.
Yeah, we heard you talk about how much you love the color green
Dude.
and the Supra, obviously, and it just like it dawned on Tommy and I both. We're like, dude, we should do something.
Come here.
Oh man, no, this is just. I mean,
I owe you now.
I'd love to. No,
I owe you.
No, I just.
This is epic.
Love to pass on the passion and yeah, it comes with a plant too.
Dude,
so.
this is epic.
So.
Joel deserved this. This is so cool, man. Like.
We were trying to
make
be.
you get all teary. I'm a softie.
No,
dude, this is so good.
Dude,
like,
your work in the car stuff is fantastic,
thank you, bro.
and I wanted to try to match that as close as I could with a build that I thought was really clean and fit your style.
We should put this next to the Supra.
Dude, can we get some shots?
Let's put it next to the Supra.
Would be fantastic.
Oh, this is awesome. This is epic. Like
Yeah.
this is really good, man.
That's
It's
so cool.
pretty.
I'm so glad you like it, man.
It's so cool. Like it looks pretty awesome next to the Supra.
I
too.
gotta say, yeah.
You know, like it's we're doing like crazy stuff right now, man. And it's like this is like an awesome gift, dude. Thank you so much.
You brought back the passion, some of this PC building stuff, like being able to build a system around a common theme,
Yeah.
and to do it for a friend who's been an inspiration, especially on the car side. It's just, I appreciate you
That's
giving me the
crazy,
opportunity
dude.
to do this. So I'm happy you like it, and I know you're gonna make good use of it. So
I gotta do something for you now, man.
no, you don't. No,
This
you've
is
already
so
done.
cool.
You've already done plenty. Just
So
the
cool.
inspiration alone is more than enough. So all right, we'll end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.